we got the Power Acoustik Overdrive series OD1 7500D. Now, I haven't heard too much about these, so I wanted to try one out. So they're rated 7500 peak, but on the box they do show other ratings, which I would assume would be RMS, since they're showing 7500 as peak. 3000 at 1 ohms, 2000 at 2 ohms, and 1200 at 4 ohms. So it's a pretty compact amp. So I'd say it's mid-size. It's not tiny, but it's pretty compact. It's got like a blue, it's like a blue-gray finish. No lights on it or anything, but it does look kind of nice. It looks different. This is all aluminum all around. Then you have the sheet metal in the back. Then there's these magnetic covers, so you know you can take them off to see your adjustment knobs better. And I think there is screws to secure them on for good, or you can just stick them on, you know, with the magnet. So on this side we got the protect power LEDs, inputs, outputs, gain, low pass filter, subsonic, bass boost, and bass boost frequency. And this also uses a 3.5 bass knob. Some guys hate that. I don't really mind it, but and the bass knob's plastic. Pretty simple, nothing crazy. Does turn really smooth, so that's a plus. And it comes with these, looks like 0 gauge to 8 gauge reducers. So that's exciting. Maybe that's a sign of what this thing's going to put out. So on this side we have the 8 gauge inputs and 2 sets of speaker outs, and these do use Phillips heads. I don't really like that, but not a big deal. But I just thought I'd share that with you guys. So we will get it hooked up on the dyno, and just so you guys know, with my dyno setup, the numbers I'm getting are what I can do a burst RMS, but what I usually do is uncertified up to clipping. And the difference between like an RMS burst is basically the sine wave. So the uncertified, it's a slow gradual tone at 40 Hertz up to clipping, and then burst is just pop 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 at 40 Hertz, which gives the electronics time to build back up, you know, capacity and voltage inside. So the amps usually do a little bit more, but uncertified is a good number, so that's kind of what I do, because it's a good number to kind of compare it to the other amp dyno videos, and our numbers end up being really close at our uncertified, so that's what we're doing. And then we're also going to test it again with the HiFi Vector dl14 to give it that set rock solid impedance to do the dyno test sat with the SMD handheld meter. Because as you guys know, if you guys have an SMD and you try to do an amp dyno on a speaker, it's impossible, because box rise, the speaker, like if it's a 2 ohm speaker, it'll jump to 4 ohms, 5 ohms, 3 ohms. So alright, let's get to it. Alright, 4 ohm test at 40 Hertz. It's rated at 1200 watts on the box. Let's see what it does. Alright, 589 watts, 14.4 volts, 62.6 amps. Alright guys, stay tuned for the next reading, hold on. Alright, 2 ohm test ready, 40 Hertz, rated 2000 watts on the box. at 2 ohms. Alright, 1028 watts at 2 ohms, 14.4 volts, and 117 amps. Alright, 1 ohms, the Power Acoustik OD1 7500D. It's rated at 3000 watts on the box. Let's see what happens. Alright, 1646 watts at 14.4 volts at 206 amps. So that's way under, but there's the number for you guys. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I try to do amps that there's not a lot of info out there on. Some I do that there's info, but you know, I try my best. So this was one that I really haven't heard or seen anything about. So, and it was kind of interesting, maybe a little bit of a letdown, but again, it's all relative, you know, it's just kind of what you guys like. So they're about 160 bucks, 170 bucks. So I guess, you know, the price isn't too bad for what you get. They do look nice. So hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, take it easy and turn up the bass.